team, welcome to my video reflection of my video portrait interview. Let's get straight into it. I think that one of the most successful aspects of my vlog was the piece to camera interview setup. I'm really happy with the way that the set looks on screen. The colours, composition and the framing all combined to make the piece to camera footage look professional but warm and homey, which I think makes the audience feel like they're there with Sam, my interviewee, as he answers the interview questions. One of the most problematic aspects of my work must have been my B-roll footage. Now, I wanted to incorporate more authentic footage from 2020 when my interviewee Sam actually made the move from Auckland to Melbourne. However, with social media these days and Snapchat and Instagram stories, most of his footage was filmed in portrait mode instead of landscape, meaning I couldn't use it in this specific project. We found a few landscape photos from then, but he didn't have much luck with landscape footage, so instead we went to his old student accommodation to make some new, slightly less authentic B-roll footage. Originally I thought I'd have to display the questions in my interview on the screen, but during post-production editing I discovered that if I left out the questions, the interview was framed as more of a story and flowed more naturally. I enjoyed the storytelling structure much more than the traditional Q&A structure, as it felt more creative and natural while still maintaining an interview style. I learned that the way in which I approached the interview setup, questions or editing, I could test and manipulate the style of the interview, and that opened up a whole bunch of creative possibilities for me. To ensure a story is being told, I rehearsed the interview and wrote my questions to be direct and ambiguous, as recommended by Michael Rabiger in conducting and shooting interviews. I also tried my best to make sure that the questions sounded direct and natural, to make sure that there were no simple yes-answer questions. Like Rabiger instructed, if I didn't get the information I wanted or the question was too confusing for the interviewee Sam, I modified it on the spot and had more of a conversation with him to try and understand what he was trying to say, or explain the question to make sense to him. One core lesson I learned in this production process was to capture more content than I think I need. While this interview was only supposed to be 2 minutes long, I found I had fallen short of B-roll when it came to editing. I did take around 4 minutes of B-roll footage, but it was too much of the same type of shot or location, and it felt like I didn't have diverse enough B-roll to keep the interview interesting when I was editing. To develop my skills as a media practitioner or for future productions, I would ensure that I go to more than 3 locations and shoot a wide range of B-roll footage. I would also make sure that the footage being taken can reflect or replicate specific parts of the story being told to make it seem more personal to the project, and to continue telling the story visually while the dialogue from the interview plays over it. For example, when the interviewee talks about being with their friends, I would try to get B-roll footage of them hanging out with their friends to directly visually replicate that with the audio over the top. And that's my reflection for this project. I'm super excited to get into the last vlog next week and see everyone's projects on Thursday.